Good evening, people. Welcome to Reaching Out with Eddie. Well, my special guest today is Marie Franklin. How you doing, Marie?
I'm great. How are
Folks,
you?
I gotta say this is Marie is one of my campaign managers. I had Macaron. You know, Macaron's the CAO of Ninth Avenue. He said he was my campaign manager. But Marie's been out there. Going door to door with me. We've been walking. We've seen quite a few people. And so we're out there, we're really working hard because we want to make a difference. And one of the things that I want to say before we really get started is that we had a couple of forums that we had to go to. We went to the meet and greet that was it was an event put on by the Democratic Party, and then Veldora Young, her and I don't know whether they're professional women or whoever they were, but her organization also had us meet down there behind the Connor Young building at that plaza there, and both times that Wayne Davis got up. See, when you're running for public office, and if you're in office already, you should talk about what you've done. And I'm going to address that because that's one of the things that Percy Bland does. He talked about what he did. And so, but before I continue with that, I'm going to get back to Dwayne Davis. He said, don't make promises that you can't keep. He said, I found that out. So what he's doing is that he's making excuses for telling you what he's going to do, but he did not do. If a person has to make an excuse for not doing something, but they're not telling you about anything they've done, that means that they have not done anything. And if he don't tell you what are the problems in the community, instead of talking about making promises, he hadn't even talked about the problems in the community or whatever it is that he's going to do or how to address those ills in the community. And so I want to say that about, so he does not have a platform. He has not done anything. He fell right lockstep in there doing business as usual that's been going on and has this community in dire straits like it is. Marie, what do you want to say about that? You live in Ward 2.
Yes.
What are some of the promises
Yes.
that he made that he did not address?
The first promise he made, because he knew how disgusted we were about them closing off Sweetgum Bottom Road. And people are going to continue to hear me speak on that because there was no reason for closing off Sweetgum Bottom Road, number one, because the project has not started. The highway part of it is still there, so we still could be using that road.
Right.
Okay, but he said that he was going to make sure that they gave us the road, the alternate road that they promised, that the money was already allocated for that. He also said he was going to make sure it was a road equivalent to Sweetgum Bottom with lights, with the width, pavement, everything. That was over 2 years ago. Now, he wasn't there then, but when he came in, he said he would. And we got gravel. They don't have the nerve to go over there on a dirt road and put down some gravel, no lights, no anything. Right. So that's one thing. Another thing, he came down and he spoke to me about the few pieces. He said, well, I'm going to, Mr. Bland and everybody else already promised me that they was going to put lights all the way down. I said, have you not already been all the way down this road? Look here. You standing up on the light now. They gave us the lights. That program got started up under Dustin Markham's term.
Right.
And then that was like a grant situation. They didn't just give us lights. They gave the entire city lights. So they lying to you if they tell you that. He said he was going to go back and check on it. One last thing that I asked him specifically to give me. And at the time when I was speaking to him, Kim Bonner Houston walked up. And I asked for when they was doing bids for getting all these jobs. And you had people complaining that they own businesses and were getting no bids. I asked him that last job for that building at $300,000 burnt down. Okay. I asked him, could I see the bids? He told me he would get me a copy. They said it was perfectly legal for them to give it to me. Well, I don't have it.
Right. And that's one of the things that I want to do is that I'll do all I can to open up that road and get lights there, like if the money's there. But not only that, covering up ditches, doing things about the blighted area, addressing crime, education. And to talk about education, I know some of you, if you have not heard about it, you have a white pitching coach with Meridian High School that actually started throwing baseballs at a black child. And other students at the school, white students I'm assuming, gave him balls so he can continue to throw at this child while he ran in his socks around the field. Now this person here should be fired. See, we can't have a double standard, and we have that. And so Percy, I want to get to Percy now. He's not talking about what he's going to do. He's talking about buildings that put up that he had nothing to do with. He's talking about youth programs where you got a youth out there that's being beaten by a white coach with baseballs. This here is child abuse, folks. This is a felony in the state of Mississippi. Isn't it ironic, Marie, that if...
It's an assault charge.
It's an assault charge.
It's an
Isn't it
assault
ironic
charge.
that if they do something,
It's
then
okay.
it's okay. But if we do it, I mean, look what Cornelius Park did to this black kid, got kicked out of the school, and he didn't do anything, and then charged with a felony. Now, so let me see. I don't want to see no double standard. You, hit me with the biggest stick you want to, but you're going to have to hit everybody else with that same stick. The same stick that you hit that young man with, what her name, Amy Carter and Joe Griffin. Man, y'all are a disgrace to this community.
And the thing about it is, and I'm going to tell you, whether or not it's 100% fact, I don't know. But what I'm told was the reason for this was he got upset because he had an earring in his ear.
That is correct.
If that young man's
told.
parent who feed and clothe and house him, if he's okay with him having an earring in it, if they're okay with it, that coach should not be able. He's only over there to teach a young man baseball. He ain't over there to tell a young man what to put in. And if he say, well, if you wear an earring, you can't play on my team, you give him that option or you expel him off the team. You do not attempt to assault him with baseball.
But not only that, you understand that baseball is set up now for mostly Caucasian.
You know, I know.
Yeah, and so they don't want our children to be there anyway, and they try to discourage them because baseball, folks, let me tell you something about baseball. Did you know that baseball is if you get suspended with football or basketball, where we're the dominant group therein,
that's right,
that your pay stop. But in baseball, it does not stop. You keep on getting paid if you're suspended. So you can see all that. But not only that, it's not against school policy to wear an earring. If it's not against school policy, it ain't none of his business.
Because he don't own the team.
That's right.
And he getting paid to do a job. He getting paid.
But something got to be going on because he come from Hattiesburg. See, it's like Ben Ivy. When Ben Ivy beat Ray, he got to quit the sheriff department, went down to Clark County. Now the feds is on him. See, we got to stop doing those kind of things, people. But I want to get back to Percy's propaganda. See, he doesn't have a platform either. He's not telling you anything that he's going to do about education. Education is our #1 problem in this community. He's not talking about what he's going to do about crime. Crime is another problem in this community. He's not talking about real jobs. We're talking about living jobs. Most of the jobs around here pay minimum wage, $7.25. This is a true story, Marie. A young lady needed a ride to work today, and she was Tony's neighbor. So the neighbor called her, but she was with me. I took her to get some food. And so I said, well, we'll go get the young lady. So when I took her to work at Popeyes, folks, she said, my mama want to know, do you have change for a 20? In other words, she was going to pay me $10. I said, no, I couldn't take it, folks. Do you realize if she had paid me $10 to take her to work,
more than she made
that is an hour, that is like an hour and a half salary. She's only working about 5 hours. So now understand that if she paid me or somebody like me to go back home, now she done paid someone 3 hours, meaning that she would have to go and work free for 3 hours just to pay her transportation. We do not have a livable wage in this community. Person has not said anything about that. These are the kind of things that need to be addressed. If you're not going to economic development is a clever word. It's a clever concept. But there's no economic development here. If it's not coming, we're not talking about putting up hotels and restaurants. We're talking about real jobs, jobs that's paying a minimum of $15 an hour. PV is the very reason why PVs in places like that, structural steel, they're the reason why industry is not here besides the education. They didn't want them to come out. Now they don't source everything to other countries.
Right.
So all those factories done closed down.
And you know, they asked Bland about this when they had the last forum. They asked him, Weston Lindeman talked to him about the fact of what he allowed and what he did to the Black Historic District downtown when the money was there. He was supposed to, that he was in a position to restore that district
That's
also.
right.
But he
didn't do it.
And then he also asked him about jobs, going to get jobs, rather than trying to meet with people to bring lower end jobs. Why not go meet? What he said was, what's going to happen? Well, what we want you to do, listen to what he is saying now. And he was singing that same tune 4 years ago.
And I gotta say this, folks, is that sweatshops are glad to come in here. So the hotels and restaurants gonna come in here. Those are sweatshops. I just explained that to you. A sweatshop is where you go and sweat and you destroy your health and everything just for a few dollars, just enough money. You don't even have enough money to make ends meet. This young lady, she's in school, and I'm glad of that. So she'll get a college degree, and she's not gonna come here because there's not any real jobs here.
And I would just want to say one thing about, you asked me about Dwayne Davis. I want you all to understand that each representative that we have, we know that it takes a 3-2, and that's a lot of things that person used as an excuse. Well, I couldn't get a 3 vote. I couldn't get a 3 vote. Dude, they voted yes to almost everything you wanted. Okay, what I know is this. When it came down to the things that were important, number one, the police chief. They brought him in there one day. One day. They didn't inform the public. All Dwayne had to do was vote no. But he didn't. At least we would have thought, well, he tried. When it came down to...
He voted yes.
He voted yes.
It was suggested they violated the open meeting
That's right.
The open meeting law. And the reason why I say that, because there's no way 4 people can come in there, 5, 6 people can come in there and vote like that, lockstep in, if it had not been some type of secret meeting. So they had to violate the open meeting act. They had to do that.
Well, no, they was in a meeting.
Yeah. Do we really want that? Do we really
No.
want? We don't want that at all. We don't want people making deals and I gotta say this, is that I hope you guys make an informed choice. Person does not, he can't tell you what he did. He has not done anything. And I gotta talk about Kim. Kim been there for 7 years also. Now, Percy's right. Now, it's funny how Percy used the fact that he need 3 peoples in order to get things done. Percy, you had people, everything you asked for, they gave it to you, unless it was something that was really, really bad. They didn't give it to you. They actually they are what you call a governing authority. Well, I had someone ask me about this strong mayoral form of government, ask me about, my opinion about that. The difference between the two, you still need 3 votes to get things done.
You do.
So it doesn't really matter to me. The difference between the different forms of government is that
the point.
The strong mayoral form of government, the mayor gets to appoint his head, but under the other form, the city council would hire a city manager, and the city manager would go and appoint all these different heads. But you understand that it doesn't really matter. In order to get this city moving forward, we need city council people that's not going to continue to do things like been done in the past.
And I'm going to tell you, when Percy could not get the 3 votes, it takes the city council to confirm department heads, most of them. It takes the city council to be able to give department heads a raise. Right. What he did was, he didn't even take it to the city council. Don't you remember? He gave all them people a raise, and the city council did not know it. But when the city council found out,
they approved it.
They didn't. We finding out all these people, and we gonna put them back on their pay band. And they had all kind of meeting. They told us this. They did not. They did nothing.
And that's what we need to get away from.
Right.
We actually need complete change. The only thing that I say that we can stay with is Western Lenderman. Other than that, we need complete change. We don't need the same thing. And I promise you, folk, if you change out these people, you change out, Fannie Mae Johnson needs to go home. She's not even a meeting with any kind of debates or having any forums or anything. She doesn't need the money. She doesn't care. She hadn't done a very good job. She doesn't care about this community. She probably needs to go back home and stay there. Kim, she needs to sell insurance. George need to go ahead on and just retire, go home. But I assure you folks, if you need to elect people like me, like Adrian Davis, like Crystal Cockrell, you have a lot of good people. Who?
What's that young lady name? Alicia.
Alicia Smith, yeah, and then you have, you have a lot of good people running, such as Al Willis. But I want you guys to make an informed choice and listen at folk, and based on informed choice, listen at what they're saying. When you can't talk about, I created the first daycare, or I created baseball, or I created this. That's not talking about it, and I'm kind of speaking in parable. Let me just go ahead and address this. Not like Al, but one of the things that Al talks about is he talks about the golfing program that he started, which is good. But what I want to know is about some real issues and real things that's affecting this community.
Right.
And I think that if Al was there, he'll give us something different. He'll do a better job than what we have. I definitely don't. I just do not advocate. If we're in a situation where a majority of the people are black, meaning that we're talking about such as Ward 5, such as Ward 4, Ward 2, and Ward 3, in my opinion, I think that the people that over those wards should be black people. And I think,
of course.
I cannot see it any other way. And I'm not just talking about any black people, but okay, I know what some of you are saying out there. Person's black and Western Living is white. See, so there's always a deviation of the norm. You understand? We're talking about the standard deviation. So I'm talking about the norm, not the standard deviation. The standard deviation gonna be the same color as me and gonna mess me up and my kind up. The standard deviation gonna be the same color as some of you out there, like such as Western Lindemann, but not gonna be fair to everybody and not single out certain people.
Because some of the things that was most important and that caused the most division in this community had to do with justice. Weston Lindemann, when the situation came up with Levi Gibbs, he asked for an investigation. He didn't say crucify the people. He didn't say fire the people. He said let's investigate because the people, this is what the people want us to do. He was the only one. Davis, he could have voted yes, let's do this. He voted no. The same thing with the young man getting killed. He voted no. The same thing with the young man getting beat up, drug out of his car, and he had broke zero law. An investigation should only yield you the truth. No one, I know I could speak for my ward. Nothing that we have expected since Dustin Markham left, we have got. They haven't done anything in Ward 2. Yes, I know the new young center is over there, but that was started when Dustin Markham was here. And Joe Norwood had to finish it off. So before you speak against hiring someone for the job, look and see what have they done for free already fighting to get the job.
Right. And I got to say this to people is that I talked to a couple of people, so I'm not going to call their name because I have a lot of respect for them. Now, I got to ask you out there, people, do you out there, let's just compare the people. Do you out there think that Jimmy Smith is more qualified to be mayor of Meridian than Randall Jennings? And that's a true question. I want you to address that in your comments. Don't ask me how I'm doing. Damn it, you ask me the same question every day. I'm all right. I need you to address that question. Do you think that Randall Jennings, who has a master's degree in education, who have taught on the junior college and senior college level, has less experience than Jimmy Smith? Jimmy Smith probably graduated from high school in 1971 or 72. I don't know whether he has college education or not, but I know I have my last degree, I got it in 1998. But there's no way that I could compare my degree with somebody to getting their degree in 2008 or 2018. You understand what I'm saying? There is no way in hell, there's no way that anybody gonna make me believe, this is my opinion, that Jimmy Smith is more qualified to be mayor of this city than Randall Jennings. Randall Jennings has his degree. I mean, he was a baseball player. I'm talking about so good, so he got a scholarship in that. I mean, and he's been coaches. And you're going to tell me that he couldn't run Parks and Recreation? He's from here.
Right.
And the fact that he's there, he's an educator himself, so you don't think that he wouldn't put the right people on that school board to move this school in the direction that he go? How can Jimmy Smith used to be a supervisor for 13, 14, 15 years, 16, 17 years ago, but been missing in action since then, and you gonna tell me y'all finna now pay him $80,000 a year, and he gotta learn this job? He doesn't know anything about education or sports or anything like that. He's basically gonna leave everything like it is. If you're gonna leave everything like it is, you might as well leave it like it is. But if you want real change, then you got to bring some people on board that's going to, I'm not talking about it, Ken Burner Houston. I'm talking about people that have demonstrated that they will stand up. He went there. I don't even understand LaToya Brown, her son Ray Ray. It was Rhonda Jennings that was in that courtroom, Marie
Sure
Franklin.
was. Yes.
It was John Harris and Eddie Holt that was in there fighting for her son.
Yeah, but she sold him out.
And so he not only that, the school to prison pipeline, he been around here fighting. Been around here fighting.
Man, they like to kill that dude.
And so I wanted, so no, those of you feeling good because Jim is running, because you know him, damn it, you doing this city an injustice. I'm just gonna tell y'all.
And let me tell you this. This is what a lot of people don't know. Randa has connections with the National Baseball Association.
I think he does.
They felt like, they do.
Yeah, he do.
They tried to give the city of Meridian $1 million to invest in inner city baseball from kids that was 7 and 8 years old all the way up. The only thing they needed the city to do was to maintain all of its field. Well, they supposed to do that anyway. But because Rhonda Jennings brought it to the table.
That's right, because it was Rhonda Jennings.
And then you talking about $1 million. I sat in on the meeting. I was there. And Bland turned it down. Not only did he turn it down, people, he took away our children's opportunity to play out at the complex that year. He took the complex away from our children and gave Phil Harden complete control over Phil Harden. That happened. Yeah. It happened. Now, I know I don't have children, young children here either. But come on. How much do we supposed to act like and say with our vote that we don't care? We always complaining about the children. But then when we find out that someone did something as egregious as that against the children in this city, then what do? We're going to continue to vote for the same man.
Yeah, there's no
that
way
happened. It really happened.
And look, folks, we can do better. Yes, we can do better, but not because somebody say so, because we do so.
That's right.
And we can't do so if we don't know what to do. How can I talk about the quadratic formula? I mean, I know it from memory, but how can anybody out? Some of you probably don't even know what it is, and I'm not trying to dumb you down. My point of it is that I can do it because I know how to do it, and I've been trained to do
Right.
it. How can we do better if we don't know to do better? Just saying we can do better does not make me a candidate qualified to be mayor of this city, because I'm saying, but I won't tell you what the problem is. I won't tell you what I'm going to do. What has Kim given $25,000 Kim Burner Houston is good, but you still hadn't told us if you gave all of your salary to the city, it's not going to move it in the direction that it needs to go. If you're not talking about real issues, folks, and it's up to you. And I'm going to talk about another couple other things. One person told me that Rhonda Jennings is, and I'm paraphrasing, that yes, what you say is true. He's probably the most qualified person. Maybe he said that. And if you disagree with me, person out there, don't you tube belt me. Tube belt me is correcting me. Let me tell my story. But folks, those of you that think that Rhonda Jennings does not stand a chance, do you realize that's the kind of thinking that is holding us back? This is the kind of thinking that they want you to think. And because you think he don't stand a chance, you won't go out and vote for him. How about all of you out there that think that he does not stand a chance? Damn it, go and vote for him and watch what happens. You can make the unusual happen. I want to say another thing. This person also said he was going to vote for Percy Bland. I said, what? I like to fell out of my chair. And he said, well, it's this old saying that it's better to deal with the devil you know than the devil you don't know. That's some bullshit. Excuse me for cursing.
And you know what? That's what I was talking. I was talking to a couple of older people, and they said, well, no, they didn't tell me they were going to vote for Percy, but I said, a lot of us have that attitude. my vote gonna go to the devil I know. You don't have to deal with the devil at all.
That's right.
We don't have to deal with
That's
devils.
right. You don't have to.
No.
And I got to say this about that. And this is what I said to the person. I was pretty convincing. Look, we didn't know anything about Percy. He ended up being the devil that we know and the devil we don't like. The point of it is, that's the reason why this is a democracy. Meaning for the people, by the people. It's not a permanent job. Give Randall Jennings a chance and let him show us that he's either a liar or he's not qualified to do the job. Then we can fire him 4 years from now like we should have did Percy Bland 4 years ago.
Right.
And we cannot bring somebody from, hold up, how about, a lot of you out there got nice cars and everything. How about you go and get your old T-Model Ford? How about you just go and get your 1974? It doesn't have airbags or seatbelts in it. That's the difference between somebody that's been gone for 15 or 20 years and somebody that's right here right now. Western Lenderman is a 2021 new car fully loaded. I'm just telling you the truth. Bull Jennings is too. Eddie Holder is a 1953, but I'm fully loaded. But you can believe that. I have all the bells and whistles like the...
And you know what? I just don't understand. And people may think, well, you know, they need to get a life. Every Tuesday and Thursday or whatever, it's the same thing because you don't quit when you're trying to do better.
That's right.
But now what we have to look at is somebody who's been in this city all their lives, and most of us have. You got to look at the east side. Even, okay, let's go on over to the north side. Where a lot of people say, well, all the money been on North Hill Street. Oh, you believe that? When did they pave North Hill Street? North Hill Street is tore up from the floor up. So George Thomas is, even he cannot have been putting it in his ward either. Whatever he been voting on, and he been riding with Percy east, west, north, and south. North Hill Street have been needed fixing. It is so raggedy all the way from 39 to 19. They had one grocery store over there. Now, years ago, they had two. They had Winn-Dixie and Piggly Wiggly. He let them people have to leave their neighborhood to go to a grocery store. They don't even have a grocery store over there. They have nothing decent either but burger joints. So you tell me, what money have they put in North Hill Street? They have not put any money on North Hill Street. They haven't put in on the east side, west side. So ask yourself this. Where did bond money go? Where did grant money go? Where did a change in water bill twice go? Where did a 2% hot meal tax increase go? Where did our land tax dollars go? Look at all this money coming into one city and every bit of it is tore up. You're not going to ask yourself where your money going? Come on now.
Yeah. And you need to know. I want to say this is that I have a life. I'm a hands-on parent. I'm the go-to person. I filed a lawsuit for wrongful eviction. People call me about that. They're calling me now. Not only that, expungements I've done. I'm the person everybody call to when they have a problem. And I'm not in a leadership position where I can really make a difference. All I can do is file a lawsuit and advise them and go and speak up and stand up for them. And I've done that. And what I'm asking you now is for the authority to do so. I got to talk about this administration right here. Those of you that are talking about voting for Percy Bland and you are my friend and you're voting for me, how is it that you can vote for Percy Bland and it's Percy Bland police that has trumped up charges against me? I got to talk about that, folks. I have trumped up charges against me. And they don't mess with me now, but they've already done that. And Percy hadn't fired these people. If you want to continue receiving the same thing, then do it, if that's what you want to do. But I'm fighting for that, but not just against me. You have a judge that's so out of control, it's bad enough. If you're going to beat my behind, I want my mama to do it or my daddy to do it. I don't want the next door neighbor to do it, especially if he's a different persuasion. Here we got this white judge, not only did it to me, he did it to white people too. So he's really out of control because he did it to Greg Gillen. Put his name illegally on the inside, see, which is for felonies. And this man is fighting a civil court just getting a divorce against his wife. So these are the kind of things, people, that we got to address and deal with. And
let me say this. And you all need to know. And I'm not going to go into detail, but you need to know this. The really, really sad part about this, the same evidence that they're so-called trying to use against this man is evidence he went and got trying to protect his child.
And gave it and Child Protective
He
Service.
gave it. That's
I
right.
sent it to Child Protective Service.
Services.
Her name is Waukesha Allen. She didn't get charged with receiving.
That's right.
She didn't get charged with possession.
That's right.
Hold up. My daughter sent it to me. She didn't get charged with. In the state of Mississippi, if you over 7, you can be charged with juvenile. She's 10. She didn't get charged with. Well, it was her first cousin that made it. She didn't get charged with making it and producing it. It was her brother. But how about folks? It wasn't them having sex. It wasn't no kind of loose sex, anything. It was just a little boy there dancing. And I said the mama was.
But it really don't matter. It is a sad day.
It's not child
when you trying to help your child.
Yeah.
You trying to help your child. Now, how many parents do we have them saying, Lord, where they mama at? They daddy need to be charged. Their mama need to be charged. But then you got a man trying to protect his child, and you got an unethical investigator, an unethical man. You got people that's doing illegal things to come after him. But why? Because they want them to shut up about the lies that they're telling to the community. That's a sick individual.
And that's the reason why it upset me so to see the chief of police playing basketball with my grandson. You playing basketball with my grandson, but it's you out there. It's yours. You ain't got to do nothing but tell him, man, this here, you don't have evidence. The state, you understand that the state of Mississippi has to do what you call cyber crime investigation because the Marine and Police Department doesn't have a qualified person there to do so.
And we used to have one at the sheriff department. We don't have that no more.
But the state of Mississippi already said that it's not child pornography. Then what's going on with me and Lolo? Man, this stuff ain't right what's going on with us. You done dropped the charges against everybody else. I mean, what's going on, folks? It's political. It's political. And we got to get rid of all that. And you know what? Because of what Jimmy Smith did, I'm uncomfortable with him being mayor. I'm just uncomfortable with him. Because
you're talking about
the same people it's the GOP that's produced. And I seen his list that he said that his campaign contribution on it. Man, that's bull. I don't believe that he ain't disclosed. It had not been. The FBI need to come in here and follow the money.
You said what?
He got $28,000 that he done spent. And he collected about $28,000 or $29,000, and he done spent $27,000. And a lot of the people's on there, there's no way I'm gonna believe that because you got income. I'm looking at the signs and all this stuff, and that's a lot of money being spent, and it might be so. But Jimmy Smith, if you got the GOP that's pushing him up, then they're not pushing him. Why ain't they pushing the GOP candidate? If they want a GOP, you have a black person that's running as the GOP, and they haven't given him one dime.
And they're not going to. The reason being that I saw him only in one form. And the things that he was saying.
Marie, stop. Don't say that. That ain't my point. You getting off on a
Oh,
tangent.
no. I'm finna tell you, I'm going to your point.
I don't care if
your point is, if the GOP is trying to stay with their party, and somebody that's supposed to have the same values in line that they do, they will support that brother.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. I know what your point is.
Yeah. I done heard the stories. I done done some of the things he say. He too this, he too that. Doesn't matter. He's their candidate.
Right.
He's their candidate.
Right.
Why ain't they pushing their candidate? Hold up. They ain't got to push their candidate because if this man is ignorant, if he's saying the wrong thing, Western Letterman is a genius. He's smart. He's articulate. But he's talking about the right things. Why ain't they pushing him? He's independent. It's not against their bylaws to do so. But here they are violating their own bylaws and canons and supporting a Democratic candidate who's also violating his own, he's violating the Democratic Constitution, and he's violating the Democratic canon. And he's also under that, when he signed that thing saying he was going to run as the mayor for a Democrat, he on there said you have to pledge those 5 things. So he's already not even a qualified Democratic candidate.
And those are the things that
folks need to look at.
Right. You cannot keep looking at what people say because you got too many instances where they say one thing and do another. Look at Bland.
Well, Jimmy Smith ain't saying nothing. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Well, you say he told you he ain't got to talk to you, didn't he?
That's right.
Well, okay, then
he ain't just telling me that. He telling you out there.
That's what he's
telling y'all out there. He ain't got to talk to y'all. He ain't telling y'all nothing. He's a king. Y'all love him. Y'all going to vote for him anyway. That he's the next person. But here's what I want you folks to do. Look at the most qualified person. That person's not it. He's shown himself to be incompetent, corruptive. He's corrupted. He's incompetent, and he's divisive. He's not a very good leader at all, and he's a liar. He's a liar, and it's time for him to go. And so he's definitely not the most qualified candidate. The two most qualified candidates out there is Randall Jennings and Weston Linderman, point blank. I don't care, folks. In your comments, leave that, and we're gonna go to break. And when we come back, we're gonna read your comments, and then Marie, we'll say a few things. We're gonna close out.
That's right. So we got the most those to go to.
Dice Man, take us a break. Folks, we want to welcome you back to Reaching Out with Eddie. Folks, you know we have the City Meridian is doing a type of voter suppression. When you call the City Meridian and tell them to send you a absentee ballot form, they don't supposed to question you. They're supposed to just send it to the address. But Marie, tell them what happened to you. And she called the Secretary of State. They have no authority to ask you this or ask you that, because you have to, everything has to be notarized. So once it's notarized, you know, you can't,
that's right.
You're not the vote. I mean, wow, these are black people. This administration is so afraid of losing, and they don't have anybody out there doing anything for us. So the administration have certain people that's practicing voter suppression. So I'll let you tell that, Marie.
Okay, so I have a friend of mine that live up the street. She's over 65 and she's disabled. And when it comes down to voting, last time I took her, but she was trying to get out. But nevertheless, she can't climb any stairs, and really and truly, she don't get out much. So she asked me to come and help her and her husband. And I told her, well, the best thing to do is to just make sure that they're going to send her an absentee ballot. So we said, okay. My grandson, he was in a medical situation, so I said I'll have them to send his ballot to the house. Now, keep in mind, both of my grandchildren registered to vote when they were 18, and they've been voting since then, and it's always been at my residence. That's what's on their card, okay? Since I decided that I was going to be a poll worker I said, well, I'm going to go ahead on and do mine absentee, me and Robert, just to make sure, because you don't never know. And I want to make sure that I cast my vote and my husband. So I called down there. I had already called about a week and a half ago. All they said was, okay. They didn't ask me anything. They told me to make sure I called back. So I did call back, and I'm like, okay, when are you going to take this information? She took all the information, all the names. I made sure she looked them up. She said everybody was good. Everybody was registered. She said, okay. I get a phone call this morning from a girl named Stacy that's working down there at City Hall. She tell me and my husband can come today and vote. I don't have to come today. There is a statute that says the reason why me and my husband qualify for absentee voting. Okay, then she tell me, because I'm not my friend's family. Now, I didn't ask her to send a ballot to my house.
Yeah.
She know my friend's address.
Right.
Then she tell me, because I'm not my friend's family, that she can't send her and her husband a ballot. I can't request it. I said, okay. But that's okay. It's more than one way to skin a cat. She told me, concerning my grandson, act like I got to go in all details of all of his business in order for her to send him an absentee ballot, and my granddaughter. So I told her, I said, ma'am, that ain't true. What she was telling me was that even though he was in a medical situation, even though that there was proof where he was going to have to, she would have to send the ballot to where he is.
Right.
Okay. We argued for about 3 or 4 minutes. I told her, you know what, I don't have to argue with stupidity. I knew the moment that they would not let the county run this election that they were going to try and cheat. Because person's scared of losing. And I said, he gave you your position, so I'm not going to deal with you.
Run it. They didn't let them run it.
No, they are assisting them. The city running it.
Yeah.
But the account, they just assisting them. Okay. So I called the Secretary of State. And thank goodness, a guy told me he didn't think that was true, but he let me speak to an attorney, one of the attorneys down there. The attorney told me, she told me backwards. Now, keep in mind, she told me, I'm getting my information from the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Okay, the Secretary of State told me, if anything, she can't send your granddaughter nor your grandsons ballot somewhere else unless she know that they have put in a change of address.
That's right.
They supposed to legally send it to the address that which is my address.
That's right.
And once you tell them their situation, they can mail it, but she got all kind of ways to make sure that it's valid, that they signed it.
That's right.
I said, okay, thank you. He said, as far as you and your husband, you don't have to go today. You don't have to go tomorrow. Both of you are qualified. And if she don't mail the ballot, then that city is going to be in some serious trouble.
That's right.
Okay.
Y'all hear that, don't you?
Right. Okay, so what I did concerning I called her back. But what I did concerning my friend, I called my friend, and I said, I know you on your way out the door, but I need you to take 5 minutes. I'm going to call this gal down here at the place. She giving me trouble by sending you and your husband ballots. She said, okay. I called three-way. Mm-hmm. And I said, are you here? I'm not going to call her name. And she said, yeah. I said, okay, Stacy, this is Miss So-and-so. She on the phone. Hello? Like she didn't want to do.
Real nasty.
Real nasty.
Real nasty.
And I said, go and talk to her. She had crazy, but talk to her anyway. And she gave her name, address, and she said, okay, I'll mail it out today. I said, okay. And I told her, I said, the Secretary of State and Attorney said if you didn't mail our ballots out and we didn't get them in time, I wasn't going to have to file no lawsuit. He was going to do it. Now, she said she'll mail me and my husband's out today.
Yeah.
But she'll let me know about my grandson. I say, hey, do you?
Yeah. And you know,
that's
folks,
a shame.
And it is. And that's this administration. And for those of you out there want to keep this going, well, if you got a bucket of gravel, we'll give you another bucket of gravel. But we'll go to Lowe's and get it. We're not going to get it from the city property or anything like that. We're not going to do
Why not? I pay city taxes.
Well, I'm not going to do that, Marie. I'm running for office. I'm not going to.
I don't mean you talking about stealing it or something.
Well, if they're giving it away to one person, they got to be stealing it because you can't.
I thought it come from the county.
You can't. I don't know where it come from.
The county.
You got to talk to Maria.
The county.
But tell Maria, I listen when she talks. She need to do the same thing.
Okay,
when I'm
sorry too.
Hey, look here, folks. We're going to read y'all comments, but I got to say, hey, we had a good time Saturday. We're going to have a real good time again, and we're going to put some links on at the end of this video and also at reaching out with ed@yahoo.com. Go there, but we're going to put it at the end of this video, Dice.
Yeah.
Man, we got a real good. Marie recorded me when I did You Got Me Running. We did it twice. The first time we did it, you hear it was clearer. You can hear the guitar, you can hear the bass line, you can hear everything. And but you only saw me and my brother standing up there. And what I did a little guitar playing and I did a harmonica playing. But I want to explain to you guys that it's me that's playing all of the instruments. I played the guitar, I played the bass, I played lead and rhythm guitar all on one track, and then I put that on my amp, and then I use a drum program to play the drum music, and so that's the reason why I sound like that, and that's how I was able to just play along with it, just to kind of like show the people, hey, this is me. So I want you guys to come out there. We're going to put a link up there so you can see it, but right now we're going to read your comments, and I got to tell you, I really appreciate you, Marie. I really do, because you've been out there. Man, she's been out there. I tell you, she's working.
I'm so thankful that I'm able.
She's, you know, I don't know, but I just got to say this, folks. I can feel the winds of change blowing, and it'll be good for this city, and this is what we need. But we can't do any of these things without you. We got to get your vote. Dice, man, read those comments to us.
Yes, sir. We got Sam Bell says, Assalamu alaikum, my beloved family, tuning in from Illinois.
Walaikum assalam. And be safe out there.
Be careful.
Yes, indeed, bro Sam. Tracy Hope says, hey, everyone.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, babe, look here now. You know, maybe can you and V take Tuesday off and talk to some of your cousins down here? I need poll watchers. I need people to hold signs up. A lot of Daddy need help. This is, hey, Hope blood runs deep. I need you guys' help. I need you guys to help me.
Okay. Old Soul 90 says, that's the problem. People are too stuck with the wrong familiar faces. People pay too much attention to the wrong things. It's sad.
Mm-hmm. And it is, and a person that I talked to really, both the individuals that I talked to really love this city and know the problems with this city and really want this problem to change. One of them is supporting Jimmy Smith, and wow, man, but Jimmy Smith is not the most qualified person for this position.
Well, see, they don't look at that. They look at just what he said. They look at what they're familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that comment.
Okay. Tony Owen says, "Hey, Dice, better have my song Saturday."
I know, but you better have it. You know what? That's Triple T.
Please.
You don't want to fool
Hey,
with Triple T.
please.
All right, I'm gonna have your song and we gonna jam. But remember, I like to jam. I ain't playing blues all day, so free your mind and the rest gonna follow.
All right
right.
now. He talking bad now.
Yeah, and I want to let people know also that the first part of it, we always, my brother opened with Amazing Grace, and we did gospel. So we'll do that first, and then we turn over to the Dice Man. The Dice Man play. He's very good. He's very good at what he does.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tamika Shea Burns, I think I'm saying that right, says the Blaine administration doesn't have the brain power to fix anything. Meridian needs an engineering department.
I agree. That's one of the things is that Jimmy Kemp was an engineer, and he did a lot for the flooding situations in Meridian, especially around there where the what's that? The Waffle House is. Jimmy Kemp is the one that opened up South Washington, so it wouldn't flood anymore. All that used to flood out.
And you know, the more you keep water off the street, the longer the payment actually lasts.
Yeah.
Okay. Rankin Easton says, I'm voting for Randall Jennings in the Democratic primary, April the 6th.
And you guys
Good
need
luck,
to,
Rankin.
Yeah, y'all need to vote for her. She's running against George Thomas. And I can say, you know, some of you talk about QAnon. I don't care about any of those things, man. That's on a national level, and that's over. We got to judge. She has a platform. She's talking about the problem. She's talking about solutions to the problem. George hasn't said, George got up there and start boring people about bond issues and things like that, because he does not have a platform, has not done anything, and not going to do anything. Rankin, I want to wish you luck.
That's right.
She's in Ward 1. You guys that's out there, vote for her. If you have family in that ward, hey, tell them to vote for her. She will be a welcome change in this city.
She will be a much welcome change. George Thomas, and everybody proud of their children. But he is talking about how proud he is of his daughter in education, but he don't care about your children and their education.
That's right.
She is one of us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Crazy G-Ma says, best of luck, Eddie, and roll tide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll Tide.
I don't know about no Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Hey, look here. Roll Tide. I'm going to roll on up in there. Roll Tide. Hey, look here.
I see that on your shirt.
It's on my shirt too, but listen here. I got to say this for those Auburn fans. War Eagle. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Now, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Okay. Last but not least, Patricia Leggett says, do you trust this administration to accurately count every early voting votes?
Not if they can get away with it.
I don't trust them in any kind of way. Anytime, if you corrupt all the way. There's no way. And then look what they're trying to do to Marie. Just this little thing here. It's the little small thing, but look, it's one thing they cannot overdo. They cannot overdo them. They cannot. If you can overwhelm them with the numbers, they can't do nothing but do what Trump did. And he's like playing from Trump playbook.
He is.
The exact same thing. The voter suppression, the lies that
because
going after people you don't like or people that say things or come after you. We don't need that. I can assure you that I would not be like Jimmy Smith. I don't have to like you, but I'm going to be respectful to you. I'm going to give respect because that's what I want from you. And if you say something about me, you have a right to your opinion. If it's based on fact, then what I'm going to do about it? But if it's not based on fact, I'm going to challenge you on that. And I'm going to do it with the pen. And I think we just need change, folks. We need change. And democracy means temporary job. It's not a permanent job.
That's right. And we need to fire people that when they're not doing their job. The thing about it is, this city has a ton of children that are not being serviced. We got a failing school system. We got a failing job system. Our streets are tore up from the floor up. And then a couple of years ago, the city was broke money-wise. We got, every time you turn around, we got thieving going on. That's been proven. We got unlawful activities. And this young lady that I talked to, when I called down there to ask for the ballots, it was okay. She was going to send them. But don't you know somebody, they know me. They know my name. But once they find out it was me, And then you talking about six ballots, legal ballots. Then she called me back and tried to make it hard. That's the kind of stuff they pull.
And it's illegal.
It's illegal.
And
it's immoral.
And Stacey, we're not going to want you in the next administration.
We're
not going to want anyone that's in this administration and making it unpleasant for the citizens in this community or doing anything corrupt or illegal. We're not going to want you. So I guess you guys are doing right by fighting and doing everything, but you got to make sure, I'm on the side of the law. If you don't like Lolo, then I'm on the side of the law. If you want to do something to Lolo, you want to do something to Greg Gillian, or you want to do something to me, or if you use that law to do something to Greg Gillian and all the thing he's doing is on a civil case, and you use that law to put felonies on me, and you use that law because you don't like Lolo's delivery, hey, if she's doing something wrong, you tried that before. Sue her in court. They have such thing as slander, libel, and all that. Use the court system. Folks, we got to be on the side of the law because the same law that's corrupt, that's biting me in behind, messing with Greg Gillen and messing with Loretta Allen, this is the same law, folks, that you have to address yourself every day. If it's bad, it's just like apples and oranges. If you have a rotten apple, you got to take it out. If you have a rotten orange, you got to take it out.
That's right.
Otherwise, it's going to spoil it all. What's happening to me is indicative of what can happen to you. I want to thank you for listening.
We had two more in there.
Oh, we got two more comments. Go ahead, Dice, because I finna roll it on out.
He was. What did
All
he say?
right. Thomas Parker says, this city is in dire need of change, and you will bring this to the city we love.
Thank you, Thomas Parker. Is that TC or Thomas Parker
that's,
Sr.?
That's him.
TC, what's up? That's my student. He didn't say sensei, but that's my student there. But he's another strong black man.
Is he in Meridian?
I don't know. He's probably not because there's not any real jobs here.
Right.
And he has a family he got to take care of.
Right.
Wherever you are, be safe. I appreciate those comments. He's a strong black man, a strong father.
What up?
Love you, appreciate you, and he's also one of my mentors.
We always need support.
Yeah. Dice.
Okay, and last but not least, Rankin Easton says, I appreciate that, y'all.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're
And
welcome.
I would like to give my condolences. I just found out a
Miss
good
Ruby.
friend of mine. No, I didn't hear about that. But Bunny Lloyd is a friend of mine.
Yeah, she paying.
I had no idea she
Wait a minute, Bunny
passed.
Lloyd, not young Bunny Lloyd is. How old Bunny Lloyd? About 40?
She's young,
Yeah.
right?
They lived over on
man.
19. Yeah,
I
she
used to teach her
paid.
son karate and everything,
Wow.
and she
Yeah.
always supported
Yes,
me.
she paid.
Man, my condolences to Bunny Lloyd.
But
Yeah.
Miss
I
Ruby
just
died
found out.
today.
Who is
Miss
that?
Ruby.
That's Tina got the mama.
Who?
I know Miss Ruby.
Yeah, Miss Ruby. She passed today.
Oh man, my condolences to her
My
too.
condolences. Tina
Yeah,
got
Ruby. She's dating. What's his name?
the singer Terrence Davis'
Davis'
daddy.
Yeah.
Yes, Billy Davis.
Yeah, Billy. My condolences to you guys, man. They were together forever.
Forever, yeah.
Her sister passed a long time ago. Yeah, my condolences to that family too.
Yeah, her granddaughter is my niece.
Well, I want to thank you all for listening out there. Look, we're going to have food out there this time. And can Two Bell sing?
Yeah, too. But not only he can sing, he can direct traffic too.
Yeah,
he got
Tuba.
the nicest way of getting somebody in check, y'all.
Hey, folks,
he ain't like, oh.
Some lady come through there. Some lady come through the other way with her pants tore up. I mean, she actually opened them up and showed it all, folks. And then throwed us the bird. I was going toward the Two Bell said, if you don't get up,
go on down the street.
You better get on down the street. I bet I'll walk it over because I have a wireless up. But folks, come there and have a good time. Intentionally, I cut that conversation.
And that's what we need.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Come and have a good time.
No candidate is talking about bringing our people together in love. Nobody is. And that's what we need to do.
And Al Willis was there, and I thank you that. And this time, Adrian Davis going to be there. Adrian, you better be there.
Randall said he's going to be there.
Yeah. Randall.
Yeah, what he said
Oh,
the
yeah,
other
Randall
day.
said he's going to be there. But look here. I'm inviting all the candidates. Percy, you can come. Kim, you can come. I don't care what that man name. Robert Ray. Come on down, Robert. Y'all come and have a real good time. Jim, I'm going to invite you too. I want him to come. I don't think he's coming. But anyway, folks, I want to thank you for listening. See you guys Tuesday. I'm going to see you at the polls. I'm going to see you Saturday. Dice Man, take us home.
I'm like my grandbaby.
Peace.